On today's Halo lore video, we count down the 5 most elite Covenant military units. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another Halo lore video. I know it's been a while since we've taken a close look at just Halo, so if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out and makes me want to make more content of this nature. Today we'll be counting down the 5 most elite Covenant Special Forces units, and when I say elite, I'm not referring to the species, I mean the most well-trained, best equipped, and just generally the deadliest. Before I get into the content, I just want to encourage you guys to stick around to the end of the video. I'll be giving away a copy of Halo Wars 2, which was kindly donated by the mod Sins of the Prophets, which is a Halo mod for the game Sins of a Solar Empire. However, we'll talk more about that later. Let's get into the top 5 list. Coming in at number 5 is the Sangheili Zealot. Every other position on this list is occupied by a special forces team or a small group, but I think the Zealots generally are so good that they as a whole deserve an entire spot on this list. I could have admittedly chose an individual group of Zealots, for example, that devoted sentries from Halo Reach, but I don't think any really stand out as being head and shoulders above the others. Zealots were among the most experienced of all Covenant forces and certainly the most dedicated. Admittedly, we don't know a lot about the selection process for Zealots or the supplemental training they received, but it is known that they were typically selected from those who seem to have an innate greatness, as well as an ability and desire to kill. Given that Zealots were among the most dedicated of the Covenant military, they typically rose to extremely high positions, including Fleet Master or Supreme Commander. Several well-known Sangheili were at one point Zealots, including Jul 'Mdama and the Arbiter. Coming in at number 4 is the BLOODSTARS. The BLOODSTARS were an elite group of Brute Stalkers tasked specifically with hunting down Spartans. Stalkers, which I believe first appeared in Halo 3, are brutes which focus on covert operations such as assassinations, bodyguarding, and spying. Stalkers used advanced technology, including unique armor and cloaking tech, in order to take their enemies by surprise. The main advantage of the Brute is their strength and durability, while their weaknesses come mostly from their brutish nature. I'm talking about anger, lack of patience, and especially when angry, a lack of real tactics. Stalkers, more or less, are designed to minimize the weaknesses of the Brutes while still allowing their strength to shine through. Back to the BLOODSTARS specifically, as I said, they were meant to hunt down Spartans and were commanded by an extremely high-ranking Sangheili from the Silent Shadow, which I'll talk about in just a second. Atriox, the antagonist of Halo Wars 2, was actually at one point a member of the BLOODSTARS, and we know just how deadly he was. At number 3 is the Silent Shadow, which were a spec ops group of Sangheili. As I just mentioned, at one point the BLOODSTARS were commanded by a member of the Silent Shadow, which makes sense as they're sort of the elite version of the Brute Stalker. I believe what makes the Silent Shadows so deadly is the fact that they were most likely the stealthiest and most effective covert operations squad within the Covenant. We see in Halo Headhunters that a 2-man squad of Spartan 3s, after eliminating an entire camp of Covenant, is still snuck up on, surprised, and eliminated by the Silent Shadows. After the war, the Silent Shadow made it their goal to kill as many Brutes as possible. On one occasion, they tried to attack Atriox, and he was so impressed with their skill that he offered them a position within the Banished, where he said that they could operate by their own free will. Coming in at number 2 is the Lights of Sanghelios. The Lights of Sanghelios were a select group of elites selected from the already very prestigious Honor Guard warriors. This has led them to sometimes be called Ultra Honor Guards, which I think is a fairly fitting name. Honor Guards generally protected the Prophets, which were the highest ranking members within the Covenant system. The Lights of Sanghelios were those selected by the highest ranking of the Prophets. These soldiers would serve as their personal guards at all time, killing and doing whatever the Prophets wished. Think about it like this: the Honor Guards are literally selected from the very best of the elites. The Lights of Sanghelios are taken from the best of the Honor Guards. Given that, and the fact that we know the Covenant basically see the Prophets as messengers of the Forerunner, we can imagine that these warriors are basically unparalleled. Coming in at number 1 is likely the strangest entry on this list, the Prelate. The Prelate are genetically enhanced Sanshum super soldiers, and that's right, the number one spot on this list is occupied by the Prophets, essentially. The Prophets wanted a soldier who would be unmatched during the Human Covenant War. Prelates were supposedly capable of even taking on a Spartan II and had no match within the Covenant hierarchy. A Prelate's augmentation was done through Forerunner technology, and their training and armor was second to none. The only Prelate we've really spent any time with in the lore is Tembitek. Among the Covenant, Tembitek seemed to have unmatched speed, he had a memory which allowed him to instantly learn from past mistakes, and on one occasion, he fought off several elites, including Ras Vadum, the shipmaster from Halo 2 and 3, while managing to survive. Unfortunately, the Prelates are a fairly minor part of the lore. We've only ever, for example, gotten this one image of them, but they seem to be the best of the best among the Covenant, and to me it's unsurprising that the Prophets would choose their own to undergo such drastic genetic engineering. Those are, in my opinion, the 5 most dangerous elite units within the Covenant military. Did I miss any that you would include? Do you think leaving the Brute Chieftains off the list was a mistake? Let me know all of that and more down in the comments. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I've got a copy of Halo Wars 2 to give away, and this can be used on either the Xbox One or PC. This is all thanks to my good friends over at Sins of the Prophets. If you guys want a Halo space real-time strategy game, you should check Sins of the Prophets out. If you want to know what it's like, I've just uploaded a video on my second channel, which you can check out by clicking the link in the upper right-hand corner. To win, all you have to do is give the video a like, be subscribed to EckhartsLadder, and tell me which of the ships featured in Sins of the Prophets, either on the Covenant or the UNSC side, are your favorite. Just post it down in the comment section and I will randomly choose one. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks one more time to Sins of the Prophets for sponsoring this video, and I would also like to thank Eric Ibu for really helping me out with the research for today's content. Until next time, this has been EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.